Hey everyone, please support what I do to help keep Greyhawk alive by subscribing to the channel. Also, please consider becoming a channel member to get early access to videos, exclusive live chats, quarterly adventure modules, and more. Thanks, and enjoy the show. So, in one of the Greyhawk forums on Facebook, somebody asked, how do you handle it if the PCs in Village of Hommlet kill Lareth the Beautiful, and then the Temple of Elemental Evil sends that 10th level assassin to go take care of them? So that's what I think I want to talk about today on Greyhawk Grognard. So, at the end of T1, the Village of Hommlet, which is the intro, well, it is now the intro to Temple of Elemental Evil, there is a note on the very last page. If Lareth is slain, there will be inquiries in Hommlet, cautious and very discreet ones, but the servants of evil there will make every attempt to find out what happened, and if any of the possessions of this cleric turn up, the slayers will be known, and an assassin of 10th level who can speak the alignment language of the major character of the group will come to the village within 3 weeks and proceed to attempt to eliminate the offenders. As DM, you must handle this as you see fit. The cleric Terjon and the Druid of the Grove will certainly aid the person so attacked. If the assassin is killed, nothing further will be attempted. Now, what they mean by if any of the possessions of the cleric turn up, let's say he's got a bunch of treasure. He's got 1,000 gold piece gems, and he's got silver service and goblets worth 4,000 gold pieces, and an alabaster box, and there's stuff that could be easily traced back to him. And if anybody knows Lareth, they're going to recognize his silver service and stuff like that. So he's also got a phylactery of action, and that too. If somebody all of a sudden turns up with one of those, odds are that's going to be Lareth's, especially if he's dead. So so there are ways that you could that the evil forces, the temple, are going to be able to find out that Lareth is killed. Now it's interesting. Couple interesting things here. They mention that Terjon, who is the cleric of the Church of St. Cuthbert that's in the village, and the Druid of the Grove would help them. That's all well and good if they're still in Hommlet. But 3 weeks is a long time in D&D time, and I've never had a group run in Hommlet that stayed there that long after doing the Moat House. No, take that back. There was one exception where this was before Temple of Elemental Evil came out, and they used Hommlet as a base and explored the Cron Hills. But if you're using this as the intro to the village of the Temple of Elemental Evil, chances are that within 3 weeks they will have already moved on to Nulb and be going after the temple. So that's all well and good if they're in Hommlet. They get aid from the cleric and the druid and so forth. But if they're in Nulb, that becomes a different story. If they haven't reached out and contacted the good agents that are in Nulb, they're going to be in a bit of trouble. So you probably want to extend that help to what's her name, Mother Scrang and her daughter and so forth. The other good agents that are in there in Nulb to help them out against the assassin. I personally would have the assassin come from Verbabank. We know that Verbabank has agents of the temple operating there. We see that in the map in Temple of Elemental Evil that shows where they have bases and agents and stuff. So I would personally have the assassin come from there. The fact that they mention that the assassin knows the alignment language of the major character, whatever that's supposed to be, means that the assassin is going to probably try to infiltrate them, pretend maybe to be on the side of good, to get into the party, maybe even pretend to be an agent of the Viscount, and say that he's there to help the party go after the temple or something like that. If I was the DM, that's probably where my mind would go based on that, because that would be a way for the assassin to kind of prove that he's really of the same alignment. Presumably a good alignment. So unless the characters decide to do a no alignment spell, that's probably gonna work, and then the assassin would strike when they when it would be most devastating, like in the middle of some battle against trolls or bugbears or something in the temple, would probably be the best bet. Unless they're on the road and they're in camp and they leave that guy to be on watch, in which case, game over, man, game over. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. In my conception, the players are probably going to be about 3rd level when they finish up the moat house, based on the amount of treasure that's in there. There's a reason there's 15,000 gold pieces there, and 10,000 there, and 4,000 there, and 1,000 there. You're talking about 20,000 gold pieces, which in D&D terms, first edition terms, is 20,000 XP, and that's more than enough to bring characters up to at least 2nd, probably 3rd level for a whole party. So if they do manage it, they're going to be comfortably 3rd, maybe 4th if you're a thief or something else that goes pretty quick. But in there, that's the range. So a 10th level assassin is going to go through them like a scythe through wheat, if in a straight fight. So I would have the assassin infiltrate the party and pretend to be an agent of the Viscount and prove that through the alignment language thing. Now, how you let the players know that there's a danger is a whole other story, because just dropping him in there and having him attack out of nowhere is, it's not fair if they don't know it's coming, and it's also not as fun, because if the PCs know that there's an assassin on their trail, then it becomes much more fun to watch them get all paranoid. And every NPC they meet they're going to think is the assassin. And there's a couple ways you could do this. You could have, the cleric or the druid say they've learned from their sources that an assassin has been set on your trail, or something like that. So you could tip off the PCs that this is happening and that it's coming. But what might even be more fun is let the assassin tell them that there's an assassin on their trail. So, like, he comes up to the end of the Welcome When, she finds them, he gives a fake letter of introduction from the Viscount, or maybe some high priest in Verbabank of St. Cuthbert, speaks lawful good to them to prove who he is, and then warns them, I'm here to help you, oh, and by the way, there's also an assassin after you, so I'm here to protect you against that. So that way, not only does he ingratiate himself with the party and he throws them off the scent that he's the assassin, but he also gets to watch them just turn their world upside down looking for this assassin that is right already in their midst. So that would be a bunch of fun from me, from my standpoint as a DM. I actually never did this back in the day because, like I say, my PCs, before we had the Temple of Elemental Evil module, that was pretty much it. There was no other evil force to send the assassin, so I just kind of shrugged it off. But once we got into Temple of Elemental Evil, once it existed, then I would the PCs would move from Hommlet to Nulb right away. And one time they made a base in the woods, and so it kind of never came up in that respect. But if I was to do it today, now that I think about it, that's what I would do. I would tip off the PCs. I would have the assassin pretend to be an agent of the Viscount or the Church of St. Cuthbert and speak lawful good, and maybe I would have the assassin be the one who tells them, hey, there's an assassin, just to do the double blind. I love the irony of that. I love the thought of that. So anyway, hope this has been fun. And let me know what you think in the comments. Have you ever done anything with the assassin at the end? If so, I'd love to hear the story about what you did to your players and how they dealt with it. And hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching today's video. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Below you'll find links to my Patreon, which helps make these videos possible. You'll also find the web store where you can buy my books, and my blog where you'll find all sorts of free downloads and other articles. Thanks, and have a great day.